Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another exciting episode. I'm your host, James. Alongside me always, his name is...
I'm Andy.
And we welcome you to join us on this epic journey as we all become legend of the nerds. Afternoon, sir.
Afternoon.
How are you?
Oh, same old, same old.
Same old, same old?
Same old, same old.
We were here last week, you know that?
Exactly. We
had double header.
We had back-to-back weeks here, like you said, double headers here. So...
But hopefully we'll go back to normal scheduling.
We will. I mean, we had a couple things. You had training going on.
I did have training.
We had to do that. We've mentioned you've gotten your brand new gig. You got your own store to run they've given you.
Yep.
Don't run it into the ground.
Oh, no. It's a brand new, fresh store. I don't need to heal any and fix any problems.
Okay.
There are no problems to walk into, so we're good to go.
Just making sure. So you heard it. You heard it, folks. He's looking for helpers, too.
I'm hiring.
Other
So what's
than
new?
that- What's new?
What's going on?
Oh, God. I got a job interview, actually.
You did?
I do. It's on Wednesday, but... So hopefully, fingers crossed there.
What are we doing?
It's just administrative stuff.
Oh, okay.
But, I mean, I went to school to work in business offices, so...
Yeah, you might as well try and get a job in there.
Get your foot in the door, start out in the bottom, and work your way up. So, we'll see how that goes.
Good.
I'm hoping. I need to pay those bills.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we all got to pay those bills.
But, other things that are going. I had a question that I wanted to start off the show with last week that I saw on the internet, which was very intriguing to me. Totally forgot about it to ask you on the last show. So I need to ask you this question.
I love questions.
So you've seen The Matrix, I hope.
Of course.
If you haven't, you've been living under a rock. This question kind of reminded me of Neo taking pill 1 and pill 2. Stay in the la la land you are in, or come to the Matrix.
The red pill or the blue pill?
Exactly, and this is a red pill, blue pill question.
Okay.
Okay. Blue pill. If you take the blue pill, this will restart your life. Don't we all wish sometimes we'd have that, a restart button? You'll restart your life at the age of 10 years old. You remember when you were 10 years old?
No.
Okay. Well, so you'll restart your age at 10 years old, and you will have all the knowledge that you've accumulated to your point of your age right now at 10. So you know everything that's going to happen. I know the Cubs are winning the World Series last year, everything.
Pretty sure Barry Allen told me not to do this.
Okay. Red pill. If you take the red pill, you will jump to the ripe old age of 45, but you will start at 45 with $50 million in your bank account. Which pill do you take?
That is a fascinating thought. If I take the pill that gives me 45, am I still married?
I don't know.
So what does that pill do? It resets your entire life and you just start off at age 45?
Yep.
Being rich.
$50 million. Is that rich to you?
It's enough to buy an island and disappear.
True. But is $50 million going to be a lot of money at the age of 45?
I think if I went back to age 10 with the knowledge I have now, I would do that.
Mm-hmm. See, my first reaction was take the $50 million and run. Because when I'm reading this question, I thought, okay, I'm restarting my age at 10 in 2017. That was my thought process, how it went, how it probably might work. But then I'm thinking, okay, then when a couple weeks later I've had time to rethink about this, it's a reset button. When you reset, you go to the beginning. You don't start here. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe I do want to go back to when I was 10 and place some bets.
Seriously thought. I would go back to 1993 and start from there with all the knowledge I have now.
Mm-hmm.
I could easily become $50 million rich anyways. Because I won't be making those mistakes.
Mm-hmm. But it is that butterfly effect. What do you change? Or like in Back to the Future and all that stuff.
No, the butterfly, that's a good analogy.
I mean, it is risky.
It is risky. You just got to change the right points in time.
Mm-hmm. But, I mean, it's very...
Like, I feel like me getting married is a fixed point in time. So I would have to be at that certain point to meet Amber to keep that timeline going.
Mm-hmm.
So I
think... Now we know she's probably watching. This is a trick question. Do you still marry Amber?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Do you still have kids?
Later
on in life. Trick question.
Let's get back to that.
Trick question. So, yeah, I mean, I went off and just thought 50 million, I'd take it right now and jump to 45. I mean, okay, what's going to change in 15 years kind of thing.
Mm.
But when I thought about it, it's like, I wouldn't mind going back there's some things in my life that I would love to have changed and seen the outcome if I had done something different. And some of those are intriguing. So I'd probably today change my answer and take the blue pill and go back to being 10.
Yeah.
So,
I think that's the most logical choice.
but it is.
Because you don't know, in 15 years, money could have no meaning at all. So you have $15 million picture, but
granted,
that's just now
you know
fire
all
money.
this knowledge, but you can't gamble until you're an adult.
I have a dad.
So exactly, Dad, listen, place the
Trust me on this.
place the underdog bet. But yeah, so it is though. Some people think the 50 million is very enticing right now, just to take it and run.
Right.
So it all depends on what age you are. If you're
If you're 55, I'll take the 45.
if you're I mean, if you're older than 45, yeah, sure, I'll jump to 45.
Yeah.
Technically, I'm jumping back. So, but yeah, so I thought that was a pretty interesting question. So, I had to go ahead and give you that question because I forgot to give it to
Those
you
are
last
always
week.
interesting questions, though.
Yeah. Other than that, we have a long and exciting show to go over
We
today.
do have a lot, actually. We really do. A lot of cool stuff came out. Let's kick it off with some wrestling news.
Wrestling news. Well, Great Balls of Fire was last night, but
Was.
we haven't watched it. We're watching it tonight.
You're watching tonight.
So I thought, well, let's just go ahead and on record, just a few matches, not all of them because I don't remember all of them, but the main ones, our predictions, and then we'll come back to it on our next show and see
See how right you were?
see how well we did.
All right.
So we have the main event, which will be Samoa Joe versus Brock Lesnar for the Universal title. I personally believe Joe is going to win this.
I think Joe's going to win this.
You can't have the title be missing for another 6 months. So we're in agreement.
Yeah, yeah.
The one question is Joe going to destroy Lesnar? We thought Roman Reigns was going to destroy Lesnar at WrestleMania a couple years ago, and we didn't get that.
No. I think we're gonna have a 7 to 10 minute match.
I hope we see Joe just destroy him. That's all he's been doing on the Raws the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited for this match, but I'm not sure. It's the Hardys versus Cesaro and Sheamus for the World Tag Team Championships in a 30-minute Iron Man tag team match.
Ooh. Like that. I see Cesaro and Sheamus
It's
getting
the
this.
brainchild of Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
I see Cesaro and Sheamus still pulling out because
Yeah.
I don't think the Hardys are probably going to win the tag team titles anymore. It's like they came back. They're probably going to be with the company for another year.
They got their one run, and that's it.
Yeah. We have Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman in an ambulance match.
Strowman.
Strowman?
I think Strowman.
I don't know.
I want to see Roman take it, but they've just been throwing him under the bus a lot lately.
Well, it's like I can't say, okay, well, Roman Reigns has been dominating in the pay-per-views because it has gone back and forth. Roman, Braun. Is it getting too tiring, though? I think it's getting too tiring.
I think they needed to injure Roman, bring him back with a new gimmick.
Well,
Because this gimmick is just not working.
there's the whole thing at next month at SummerSlam. Everyone thinks it's going to be Roman versus Cena. So at SummerSlam, I could see it because you got this is the next pay-per-view where Raw and SmackDown are at the same pay-per-view.
I could see
and you're going
him-
to have Raw versus SmackDown.
I could see him more versus Seth Rollins than I could see Roman.
I don't know. But it's a toss-up. I have no guess who's winning this. You said Braun, so I might as well go Roman.
Okay.
Just so
Yeah.
we have something different here. We have Kia Tozawa against Neville for the Cruiserweight Championship. You've never seen a Kia Tozawa, so
Yeah, but Neville's on fire. So I'm going Neville again.
I'm going Neville. I'm going Tozawa. I think Neville's time is up.
Good. We're in disagreement.
Miss Alexa Bliss versus Sasha Banks for the women's title.
Alexa.
It's hard to say. I want to say Sasha because
She's growing on me. Alexa Bliss is growing on me.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Bliss just because I
Because she's blissful.
exactly. And the final one that we're gonna go over is the Intercontinental title. Ambrose gets his rematch against The Miz. The Miz now has his little faction, as he's calling his entourage. He has Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas as his entourage.
Speaking of Bo Dallas, how jacked does he look right now? Mm-hmm. He looks great right now. This is a good gimmick for him. That Believe crap just didn't fly.
No.
This Bo Dallas, this is where it's at.
The attitude Bo Dallas.
Yeah, this is where it's at for him.
Yeah. But you miss holding on to it?
I'm a misfit. Opposite till the end, yeah.
I'm going to go Miz because I kind of have a feeling we're going to see before the end of the year a Shield reunion, being the fact they're all on Raw now.
Yep.
So I think they're all three of them aren't going to have titles, and they're going to come together for something. So those are the big name matches. I think there's a Seth Rollins Bray Wyatt match, but I'm not sure. But if there is, Seth or Bray?
Seth.
I'm going Bray only because Seth has been getting the better of Bray on the Raws. So I think Bray's going to get better of Seth on the
Okay.
pay-per-view. Other wrestling talk, we have a few bullet points here. So we talked about Slammiversary and the outcome.
Yep.
Alberto El Patron is the undisputed champion. Well, I finished watching TNA the week after, and Lashley got his rematch. And at the same time, I told you LAX said that they're naming a new member to LAX.
Ooh, do we get the member name right now?
Yes, at the end of the show, they announced it. I had a feeling it was going to be this guy. I don't have it on record anywheres, but I had a feeling, and it was. So at the end of the match is going on, and Lashley's about to win the match. LAX comes out and low blows him. So he doesn't win the title. They destroy Lashley and pick up Alberto, and Conan announces he is the newest member of LAX.
Oh, that's lame.
So,
Good fit, but lame.
the announcers announced that they think LAX has now become one of the greatest factions in wrestling history. Your thoughts? You have LAX, who has someone for the X Division title in that division.
LAX just do what they did back in the day of grand old TNA as well.
Yeah. So you have someone for the X Division area.
Yep.
You have your tag team guys who are the undisputed tag team champions. You have a woman now in the division,
Yep.
and now you have the world champion.
World champion, yeah.
And you have Conan managing it all.
Yeah. It's just NWO all over again.
But do you figure that LAX may go down, even going back to original LAX as one of those all-time greatest factions that you will always remember?
Oh, you are definitely going to remember LAX forever.
Yeah.
They are that good of a faction. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, yeah.
Okay. So this leads into the next rumor of wrestling. With Lashley losing, there is a rumor going around that Lashley may come back to WWE to face off against another MMA guy, and that's Brock Lesnar. I can kind of see this happening now that he lost the rematch. You might start to dissipate and not see him on TNA because now he's got to wait the 6 months kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And maybe show up. I can kind of see it. Because WWE likes handing out those part-time contracts.
They do like throwing them out, huh?
Yeah, and I could see that happening.
Maybe.
Next WrestleMania, Lashley versus Lesnar.
If Lesnar's around still.
It's a possibility.
It's always a possibility in wrestling.
So, we also have to get on the breaking news that we
AJ
saw.
Styles.
Oh, yes, but we'll wait for the breaking news to finish. I had it written down and I totally forgot. AJ Styles, my boy AJ. He won on SmackDown a Battle Royal to become the #1 contender for
Yep.
Kevin Owens' U.S. title. That'll happen at Background at the end of the month. Well, at a live event this weekend, I believe it was Thursday night, some Friday night, I think it was Thursday night, at Madison Square Gardens, he decided he wanted his title match now. They had it, and he beat Kevin Owens, and he is the new U.S. champion.
At a house show.
Does this throw a wrench in the whole Battleground thing? How do you see this? I mean, obviously, we're going to get the rematch at Battleground. Now, Kevin Owens is the challenger.
Yep.
But does Kevin Owens become champion again for the third time in a year?
No, AJ's gonna hold on to it.
AJ going to hold on to it for the rest of the year?
Yeah.
I see AJ holding on to it.
I see AJ holding on to it.
I was wicked excited when I heard it, but it's like I wanted to watch it at least. But I
Yeah.
couldn't. So
It's a great gimmick because it happens like every other year that a title change happens at a house show.
yeah, exactly.
Then the rematch happens on the main event Because the whole gimmick is, well, AJ was lucky. That's all Owen's going to say next couple weeks. Mm-hmm. AJ was just lucky. He was lucky. It wasn't supposed to happen. Then AJ beats him and proves that it wasn't luck.
Yeah. I do want to mention before breaking news, so John Cena did return for the 4th of July SmackDown edition.
How did that go?
So he basically says that he's not going anywhere, he's not leaving WWE, and it sounds like he's going to stay on SmackDown. Well, at the same time, Rusev returned, so they're renewing that rivalry. And Cena wanted to have a good old-fashioned WWE flag match on the 4th of July. I hate flag matches. They're corny, but it makes sense for the 4th of July.
Sure.
What do you think Rusev did? No. I don't want to do it on your holiday. So we're going to have it at Battleground. Whoop-de-doo.
Of course not.
So is John Cena become that guy where you just put him in matches now?
I mean, yeah, he can't afford to get hurt anymore because he's doing too much network shows. Mm-hmm. So they're going to put him in these kind of matches now.
It's sad, but I kind of see him fading off now.
Yeah.
Because
he's going to do exactly what Dwayne Johnson did.
He's one of my all-time favorite wrestlers. So
he's at the point in time where his body's getting too old to wrestle, but he's still young enough to be a good actor.
Be part-time.
Yeah.
So moving on finally now to breaking news.
Breaking news.
That we found out Friday. Austin Aries was released from WWE.
Did you read up why he was released?
I read the article, and it didn't say much. It just said they came to terms. Him and Austin Aries in WWE came to terms. And
I want to know what happened.
Gone. They really didn't do much with him. That's the problem. In NXT, it was here and there. Then he got hurt because he busted an eye socket, so he was out for months. Came back, they did the whole cruiserweight title thing for a couple months. He didn't win it, and then all of a sudden gone. I could see it being Aries wanted to be released because Aries to me is a very cocky guy. Granted, he's got the talent to
He should have been on Raw.
He was on Raw. You mean SmackDown?
Aries?
Yeah.
Yeah. SmackDown, yeah.
SmackDown, yeah. So maybe he's just thinking, look, I'll take my talents elsewhere if you're not going to do anything with me, but leave me in the cruiserweight division. We did talk, some other people we know mentioned they think he should have been on SmackDown, and he could have been either a number one guy or even that mid-level guy that, like Dolph Ziggler is more.
Yeah.
To me, Dolph Ziggler, yes, could be the number one guy, but they put him in that mid-level card area.
Which is ridiculous.
Do we see Austin Aries going back to TNA?
Maybe.
I think
it's possible.
I'm
going more Ring of Honor
could be
than I am going TNA.
It would not surprise me if he shows back up in TNA with the way they've been rebranding everything, rehandling themselves. So, no Lucha Talk. Basically, it's on Netflix, so you need to get on the ball here and start watching seasons 1 and 2.
There's so many great shows on Netflix right now.
Because
so
season
many.
3 then will be on there soon. But that's about it for Wrestling Talk.
That's it for Wrestling Talk?
That's it for Wrestling
TV Talk. We like TV, right?
Yes, our new category, TV Talk.
Yes.
TV Talk. I mentioned to you because we had back-to-back Dragon Ball episodes back in, I think, season 1. Mm-hmm. And eventually we'll have another one for Dragon Ball Super.
Yep.
Once you finally are able to watch them. But it was funny because I'm watching DB Super right now. It's amazing. Frieza's fighting Vegeta and Goku right now. But in Dragon Ball, they're right now airing the Buu Saga, which you mentioned you are watching with your daughter right now.
Yes.
And I had to bring this up because it's so funny. You have Vegeta, who's now turned evil, and he's fighting Goku, and he always mentions that he's going to destroy him or asks, why won't you die, kind of thing, stuff like that. And it's funny when he does this because Goku's back on a one-day pass as from Otherworld because he's got his halo and everything like that. He's already dead. You can't kill something that's already dead.
Right.
It's just those little funny touches which I think are hilarious in this. So my only complaint
now,
is...
when you're watching the Buu Saga, are you watching Kai? Or are you actually watching real Dragon Ball Z?
It does say Dragon Ball Z Kai.
Okay, so you're watching the weak version.
No. Yes and no. The Kai version was the kid version, kid-friendly version. They left the name Kai, but they went and are showing the actual Dragon Ball episodes because you get the...
Are you watching on what?
Toonami.
Toonami?
Yep. and because it's on at midnight.
Yep.
So you actually get the real Dragon Ball ones with the violence and the language
Right.
and stuff like that. They just left the name instead of rebranding it again.
Yeah.
So my only complaint is that it's only on Saturday nights. I wish it could just be on Monday through Friday kind of thing.
My house is on Monday through Friday.
Yeah, I know that.
Booyah.
So, hey, booyah, I get to watch DB Super.
Yeah.
Granted, that's only on Saturday nights, but TV talk, if you want, we can move into... We got the... would you like to mention about the new movie that's coming out for TV talk, the 20-year anniversary?
Good.
So, I saw this today. Pokemon. We like to talk about Pokemon. We had our very own Pokemon episode.
Yep.
It's the 20-year anniversary of Pokemon. I think in America, at least. It could be in Japan too. I'm not sure. But they're coming out with a new Pokemon movie called Pokemon I Choose You, which this movie is a retelling of the Indigo League, the very first chapter in the Pokemon saga. And it's funny because the name I Choose You was the title to the very first episode of Pokemon. Fans in Japan that have watched this movie, and probably people who have bootlegged it, are complaining about it. And I don't blame them in any way. What sticks out to me in Pokemon Indigo League is Ash's friends, and that is Brock and Misty, and they are nowhere in this movie.
Huh. So I'm on a website that says Pokemon the movie 20.
Yep.
I Choose You. Here's what they put down for the summary of the movie.
Okay.
All right. Ash went back to Pallet Town from the Kalos region, only to find that Misty had kidnapped his mother and Professor Oak. Now, with the help of Serena and his new friends, he must convince to save them and protect the Kanto region.
So that makes no sense because from what I saw from people who have watched it, Misty only makes an appearance, which I was going to get to. Brock and Misty make cameo appearances in the end credits.
But I mean, why is Misty kidnapping his mother?
Exactly.
And Professor Oak?
I think that is probably a bunch of bull.
That's the website that I'm on right now.
Really?
So that's why I'm like, what's going on?
It's hard to say. So if
I mean, this is a reliable website, you know?
No,
so.
I know, and we won't know until we actually see it.
Right.
But me, from what I've read from because this was people their Facebook profiles and text messages and all this other stuff that they posted. Basically, it's a retelling of the Indigo League. So you're going to get everything you had in the Indigo League. They're also retelling the Butterfree story, which if they screw with that, I'm going to be irritated.
Well, it doesn't seem like a retelling. It just seems like he's just going back to the Kanto region after
Which it could be.
Been away for a long time.
That could make sense because, like I was trying to get to, he has 2 new friends that it shows, and on all the posters and merchandise, they're advertising these 2 new friends that he has, and their main Pokemon that they hang out with are a Piplup, which is not an Indigo League guy, it's a Sinnoh guy,
Yep.
and a Lucario, who's also, I believe, a Sinnoh League guy. So it could be that, but the Misty thing doesn't make sense because from what I'm seeing, she makes a cameo appearance in the credits.
This makes no sense. Now I'm looking at the screenshots for the movie,
Yep.
and it does have from season 1, episode 1, when Ash puts a leash on Pikachu.
Exactly.
It's right here. So I have no idea what's going on.
So we really can't report, I think, much on this anymore because we won't know until we actually see it.
Yeah.
But I basically wanted to state, I don't know who the Pokemon creators are, but they need to get their head from underneath the rock they're living under, because ever since they debuted Pokemon Sun and Moon, the TV series, it's been nothing but crap. The animation's crap, the storyline's crap, and everybody's been complaining about it. The problem is they're catering to kids today,
Yeah.
the generations today. That's the problem, because I've gone off record and told you that. So I worked at this last year the school here in town, and these kids are playing with their Pokemon cards and saying, "Oh yeah, look at this! Look at this!" I go, "No, I brought mine in." I go, "This is Pokemon,
Yeah.
not what you're doing right now. This is how it started, and now they're retooling everything. It just." See, that right there.
That's the animation for the movie.
Yes, that is not how it looks like on TV, though.
So it's something's going on with this movie.
But that's the new hat that he has in Sun and Moon.
right.
So I wish we could have this on the this up, but
So something is going on with this movie that there's not enough information between Japanese and what English is going to come out with. I don't know what's going on. There's just too many variables. I mean, from what you said, what you read, it's a whole reboot of the entire series with this movie. What the summary of this website says, Ash is just simply going back to Kanto.
I mean, we'll have to report more on this. I think the movie will probably come from Japan to here either by the end of the year or by the beginning of next year. We'll
It
see.
does say 2017, so
Yeah, but 2017 in Japan. Because this movie's already out in Japan. But things have been coming over faster lately.
yeah. So I
Um,
think
So, I mean, we probably should stop talking about it because we're going to confuse everybody.
like me, I'm already confused.
But,
Release date USA 2017.
well, so yeah, I mean, we'll see. But for me, something needs to happen with whether the TV show gets redeveloped into how it used to be. But like I said, they're catering to children today. Children today do not know
So
what
in
actual cartoons
5
are.
days, because today is July 10th.
Yes.
In 5 days, it gets released in Japan.
Okay. Well, moving on, I just want to mention one other movie I saw, speaking of Japan, and that was the newest Yu-Gi-Oh movie, me being the Yu-Gi-Oh fan I am.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, if you guys haven't seen this movie, I think it's called Dark Side of Dimension, go out and see it. I actually thought it'd probably be like an hour movie, something like that. It was like 2 hours and 15 minutes. All of a sudden I look at the clock, I'm like, oh my God, this movie's still going? Well, it was very, very intriguing. It was a very
These
intriguing
anime
movie.
movies getting longer and longer these
So,
days.
This is a good spot talking about Pokemon, moving into our newest category that we mentioned last week we might talk about, and that is Go Talk.
And we'll go back to a little TV talk after.
Well, if you have more TV talk, you can add it now. Or
I mean, if you have a segue into it, let's do that.
all right,
then.
let's do that. So we wanted to add this topic because there's a bunch of new updates in Pokemon Go. And I thought just mentioning a little bit of them, talk about how our experiences are, it'd be kind of neat. Raids. Have you been a part of a raid yet?
2 now. I've been part 2.
Your experience with the raid?
I did one raid at the park up here
Yep.
for a Magikarp.
Yeah, those are the easy ones.
Yep. That was all right. I mean, it was nice. I mean, it was me and Amber and some other guy showed
Yeah.
up.
So
So
I-
3 of us against him.
I have done, because when you see the raids, you see they have like faces of a Pokemon kind of thing, and
Yeah.
it tells you how strong they are. I've been a part of a 1-star one, a 2-star, a 3-star, and then I tried a 5-star a couple days ago. The 1s and 2s you usually can win yourself. Other than that, after you need more people. But it's a pretty neat thing because you get some extra bonuses if you win the raid.
Yep.
And then you have a chance to go after a Pokemon that you might not have. Like the one I tried at the church down the road was for a very strong Blastoise, which I don't have yet. And we tried twice and just could not beat him. There were 6 of us.
Oh, wow.
I mean, that Blastoise was like CP 30,000. So by the time it then goes down to regular, it would have been quite high.
Right.
But yeah, I'm loving the raids. You can only do it once a day because you get 1 raid pass unless you buy some more.
Right.
But they're pretty neat. There's also the new gyms.
When you do the raid passes, the raid stuff,
Yes.
and you're ready to catch up Pokemon, don't you wish that Pokemon were a bit stronger than what they were? Because the Magikarp that I caught was only CP 125.
Well, that's because it's a 1-star guy. That's why.
It's like, I mean, shouldn't they be a little bit higher?
It should.
Little
but
more exciting than it was.
Most Magikarps aren't. When they had the water thing going on.
I mean, what's your highest Magikarp?
Well, mine's at 175 right now because I've raised him up.
Okay.
But I caught him at 162.
See, that's good. My highest one's 125. That's all I see.
Yeah.
So I'm like, having one at 150 might be a good way to stop. Right there,
yeah, if you get-
get more enticed to say, okay, I'm gonna get this Magikarp because it's me higher.
Yeah, if you get a Magikarp around 150, 160 and evolve them right there, you're looking at a Gyarados between 2300 CP and 3500 CP. The reason I'm trying to get mine up into the 200s is because I have a potential of getting mine up to like a 4000 CP,
Right.
which would be amazing. But you have to keep leveling up to give them more candies and stuff. So the newest function too is the gyms, as I was saying.
Yep.
Usually it was just one person could attack a gym. and you had to go through their entire lineup of gym people. Now you can have multiple people at one time if you're in a group tackle the gym, which is a very nice function. And you have Pokemon Go just celebrated their 1-year anniversary. They have introduced now the new Ash Pikachu,
Yep.
where he's wearing Ash's cap. Have you caught one yet?
I have.
I have too.
There's also a Raichu with a hat.
Well, yeah,
Out there.
I mean, you can evolve your
No,
Pikachu.
no. There's a wild Raichu with a hat.
Well, yeah, I've seen them during the Christmas and the birthday ones too. Raichu's wearing them.
I've never seen a Raichu, wild Raichu with a hat, but I heard this one, you can get one.
Yeah. So I caught a male, so now I'm looking for the female who has the heart tail.
That's one I have.
So yeah. The other thing is the whole talk about legendary Pokemon. Do you think it's finally going to happen this summer?
Maybe it's possible.
Do we need them? That's the thing.
Well, I know my wife Amber wants Nente real bad.
Yeah.
So she's hoping that they will come out.
I think they need to at least by now have the legendary birds come out.
If they do, I like to see them more than just California, though.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, they had Mewtwo come out. He was in Japan. There was just one. And so the first person to catch him got him. But they have something coming up called PokeFest, which is in Chicago. That could be a move step into it. Maybe that they're once that happens, they come out. I really want to see the legendaries come out. So, but that is Go Talk. That is the new topic, Go Talk. I know you said you wanted to do a little bit more TV talk. You had something.
Yeah, always. I like to bring some news to the show as well. I know one of your favorite shows out there right now is the new remake Hawaii Five-0.
I love Hawaii Five-0.
They had a star in there, Dano Da Kim.
Yep, that's Chin-Ho Kelly.
Yep. He has his contract ended after season 7. He chose not to renew it, so he is out of the show. Let me ask you a question: how much of effect is that going to take on the show with him being gone?
A lot of effect. Season 7 was evolved around his character. This could be why Season 7 was evolved around his character, because they knew this contract was coming up. But they had the big thing in it was his niece that he found out was his niece. He never knew this girl was his niece. Her parents are dead, so he decides to take her in. And then her aunt and uncle, who live in Mexico, ended up getting legal custody of her. He had to go down there and fight for her because she got kidnapped, because the aunt and uncle are part of this drug cartel. And so it was a really good segue into more of his life. I don't know, they don't show, though I didn't get to see the season finale, so I can't say they didn't kind of end it with him doing something, so I'll have to watch that. But he's been there since day one. It's kind of hard to get rid with TV.
This was tough, Andy. Is that he wasn't written off the show. He wasn't written so his character could leave. He said, "I'm done with this show." He said that because he's not getting paid enough to do this part. That's what it broke down to.
It breaks down to that with every actor. That's the thing.
Exactly.
It's always about money. One of my mom's all-time favorite TV shows, which was on for 60, 70 years, Guiding Light. That's the whole reason that show left CBS, and a lot of daytime dramas do, is because of money,
Yeah.
for instance. I kind of see this probably being the end if this is what goes down and he doesn't show up, this being the end of Hawaii Five-0, because when you start getting rid of the main characters from shows and trying to replace them, that's when they start to go downhill.
Is it, though?
AKA CSI. Once Gil Grissom left, things started going.
NCIS.
I don't know.
Well, the main characters left in that show too, but that show is still on like season 14 now. It's crazy.
I don't know. I have a bad feeling.
Yeah.
So, but
I mean, I guess we're gonna find out how well CBS writers are, if they can do something with this.
problem is with CBS, NBC, Fox, and ABC. The second, they bring in new shows and cancel new shows just like that.
Yeah.
There's unfortunately talk about with Once Upon a Time, when I was talking to you about that and how their new segue into it, fans are already complaining about it and it hasn't even hit TV yet.
Oh yeah.
So that'll probably make it one more season.
Yeah.
One of my other favorite shows on CBS, I heard just got canceled, Two Broke Girls. It was a hilarious show.
It was a funny show.
And that got canceled now.
That was a funny
And they
show.
left it on a cliffhanger. I hate that.
Of course it.
So
For positive stuff with getting renewed by things, Netflix has a new show called Castlevania.
yes, based off the video
It's
game.
based off the 1986 Nintendo game.
Yep.
After it being on TV on Netflix for a day and a half, they've already greenlit the second season,
Okay.
which is really impressive. I mean, it only took a day and a half for Netflix to be like, yep, season 2, let's do it. I've seen the first 2 episodes so far. It is not suitable for kids. It is bloody, it is gory, it is gruesome. It is everything a Castlevania show should
it's
be.
a Netflix show. They can do whatever they want.
Yeah, but I mean, but it's their choice. They could do that way, and they can act that way. If they did that way, I'm glad they did.
I was gonna just say, do you prefer it that way?
I mean, based on because I played the game, so I'm glad they did this path. They had to go dark with this.
Mm-hmm.
They can't make it fluffy. I mean, it's about Dracula. You know, they can't make it fluffy. They got to do deep. So,
Is it pretty consistent with the video game?
so far, yeah.
Okay.
Because I mean, Castlevania has a lot of different games that so they just took all the games into one thing and did a bunch of storylines.
When I get my Netflix stuff back, I might have to check it out. But
It's pretty cool.
problem is, next month with Netflix, there's a lot coming out with the Defenders series.
There's a lot coming out, right?
So there's some more important things to watch.
Let's go into the Flareverse quickly, huh?
Yes.
You had something about Flash?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because the second I was telling you about this, you had a huge grin on your face. And it's just photos that I've seen online of Wally wearing his not-so-yellow suit. It's the red Flash suit.
Ah!
So is this a answer to what we've been asking? How's the season going to start? Is Wally going to take on
Right.
the persona of the Flash, or what's going on? So
Yeah. It's the same question I've been asking for every single episode. What is going to Wally West be doing? Mm-hmm. And we could find out.
it's exciting. It's exciting stuff. Unfortunately, we still have 3 more months to go.
I mean, it's going to be probably 6 months after, the season 3 ending,
Yeah.
So I think it'll be wearing the red suit for a while.
Okay.
Arrow news for you. Appearing at Heroes and Villains Fan Fest, Steve Amell stated that Deathstroke will be back in season 6, which is fantastic news.
Yeah, I always love this. Besides this last season of Arrow, which I thought was amazing, season 2 is my favorite season of Arrow, and that's the Deathstroke season. The whole backstory on Leon Rouge with him and Deathstroke was amazing. And, I mean, I think a lot of people know, whoop-de-doo, Leon Rouge got blown up, but we all don't see all those people dying.
Right.
There might be one that does die. I mean, you don't know.
No, you don't know. And I bet you someone did die. But even though Stephen Amell stated Deathstroke will be back for season 6, here's what I love about Arrow. You don't know if it's going to be present time or backstories of Deathstroke. Because even though the 5-year flashback all came to a full circle, they're still going to do flashbacks of just different characters now.
Now, if he does show up in the present, in the season finale, we get good Deathstroke. He's not under the hallucinations of the Mirakuru anymore.
Right.
And he's kind of more sane now.
We
But
get survival mode Deathstroke right now.
is he going to be a villain again?
Of course he is.
Okay.
Because we're getting survival mode Deathstroke
Well, remember,
at
because
the end of season 6.
Deathstroke, in the beginning, when he's on Leon Rouge with Oliver before Oliver is Green Arrow, he's a good guy. He was part of the secret.
He's Survivor. That's what he was.
He was part of the Australian Secret Service.
Yeah.
So.
It'd be tough to see what's going to go on.
Okay.
But I wanted to bring that up that, yay, Deathstroke is going to be back in some way for multiple episodes in season 6.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really excited about that. That's all I have for that. Box office heroes for you?
Yes.
Do it.
I mean,
Now, we discussed it before, and I want you to give me numbers now. Give me numbers on 3, 2, and 1.
yes, I was gonna say because before we were doing this, I caught a glimpse of the box office heroes on your computer there, and first time I think ever I've gotten 1, 2, and 3 in the right order of the right movies. So I can state that number 3 is Baby Driver, number 2 is Despicable Me 3, and it's obvious Spider-Man: Homecoming was number 1.
Yes.
I did see the numbers, but I can't remember quite there. but I want to say Spider-Man: Homecoming was 117 million.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Despicable Me 3 was 34 million, and Baby Driver was 12 million.
Close enough.
Okay.
Yeah. Now that's the difference between these numbers here. Spider-Man, 117 million.
Which I told you.
Baby Driver, 13 million. Spider-Man, how many times? I mean, that's a lot of money between those two movies.
Well, the problem is with Marvel did a great job placing Spider-Man: Homecoming where it is because it has nothing to compete with right now. So obviously people are going to go see that, and it's going to blow everything else out.
I mean, you had Spider-Man: Homecoming, you had 34 meters below, and what was that third movie that came out same weekend? I forgot what it was, but I mean,
Transformers?
no, it wasn't Transformers, no. But it was some other movies, but they weren't really high-rated movies, so Marvel picked the correct date to release Spider-Man on.
And like I was telling you earlier, Thursday, Spider-Man's official release date was Friday the 7th. But you have a lot of places that release it,
Midnight showing.
the Thursday night
Yep.
or 7 o'clock and stuff like that. So that Thursday night, when not every theater was showing it, it made $15.4 million for just one night.
Isn't that crazy?
Is Spider-Man: Homecoming? What's your prediction for final number?
The final number?
Yeah,
Oh, I can't even fathom.
I'm going 800. I don't think it's going to break the billion. It's a rare thing when you see a movie break a billion. That's talking Avengers and Fast 7 being the last Paul Walker movie. Those or Jurassic World, I think, broke a billion, but that obviously because it's the return of Jurassic Park and stuff like that.
I mean, this is only the first weekend for Homecoming. I mean, they could easily break a billion.
We'll see.
I want to go see it again.
Oh yeah, this is a definite get when it comes out.
Yeah.
So
But we'll talk about more about Homecoming maybe later on in the episode, but definitely probably next episode.
yes, we'd like to just do some bullet points on it, but it's still a little too early to do some spoilers.
Right.
Quickly rank Spider-Man in all the Marvel movies so far. You don't have to say all of them, but I'm saying where would you put Spider-Man: Homecoming in your? Is it in your top 5? There's a lot of people placing it in their top 5, not their top 3. I've seen a couple in their top 3, but
Yeah, I would say maybe top 7.
so I haven't done it yet. But it was in the back
Yeah.
of my mind. My all-time number 1 is The Avengers. That's the number 1 for me.
I like the first Captain America movie.
Oh, the first Avenger.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, a great movie. We went and saw it the Friday night. So,
But hopefully I have something I'll talk about maybe later on if we have time. But right now, let's do our kind of main event right now.
kinda.
Kind of main event. What we got?
So I thought I had sent you this, but it didn't go through. But it was a article about the 10 sequels you might not have known are in production.
Right.
And it's always fun to talk about the sequels. You sometimes they leave cliffhangers open, and sometimes they don't leave cliffhangers open. But because a movie's made so much, they think, hey, let's make another. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't work.
Or sometimes you have guys like Owen Wilson who's not doing anything decide, you know what, I'm going to write a movie.
There you go.
Which leads us to our first movie.
Leads us to our first one. It was an amazing movie back in 2004, I think it came out. Wedding Crashers. We are getting a sequel to Wedding Crashers.
Now, is Vince Vaughn doing being this too, or what?
I would think so.
You find out for us.
My thing is, Vince gets married at the end and Owen gets the girl. So are they all still attached to each other, kind of thing? I'm not sure. But let me tell you, the movie back in 2004 made $200 million. That was big back then. Yes, it's not big today, but could it break $500,000? Do people want to see the sequel to this? They don't leave it on a cliffhanger. They just, let's go for it. And apparently it's the same director that's directing the movie. and he hinted that Daniel Craig may be joining the cast. I know how much you're a huge Daniel Craig fan.
Daniel Craig.
Your favorite Bond?
So looks like this was last updated for this news. November 22nd, 2016.
Okay.
There's been no new news about Wedding Crashers 2.
But still,
Does not mean a thing.
doesn't.
Does not mean a thing.
When we get to another one on this list, I mean, it's been brought up a million times since the first one came out. Do you need to see a sequel? Like, I feel like I don't need to see a sequel.
It depends on the movie. Mm-hmm. I mean, Wedding Crashers, I don't feel like you need a sequel.
But I feel like I'd see it.
Yeah, I mean, you probably could check it out.
Okay. Moving into number 2, we knew this was coming, but there was more talk about it.
But the question is, why do we need it?
It's true.
It's another topic, another movie. Like,
This is why. The almighty dollar.
you remember the first one, right? Was the movie we're talking about is Pacific Rim 2. I mean, the first one, did you remember the first one?
Yeah, I loved it.
It was Transformers in water.
Transformers vs. Godzilla.
That's what it was. It's just, this movie came out specifically because Transformers was huge.
Yep.
So it's had more fighting giant robots out there. Mm-hmm. It was a weak storylined movie.
Well, let me just state it's not just Pacific Rim 2. I just want to get it out there. It's called Pacific Rim Uprising. So this is the info I have on it.
Okay.
So it comes out February of 2018 is what I got. And it's stated that it's set a few years after the plot from the first movie. Mm-hmm. And it's basically going to talk about how life's going on now without the Kaijins, or Kaijins, or whatever they're called, and how they're dealing with disassembling the Jaeger technology, which are the machines.
Right.
It doesn't sound very interesting, but who knows?
Yeah. The first one was kind of like, oh, this is Transformers underwater.
This is going to be a flop,
Awesome.
is what you're saying. The second
Yeah,
one.
it's going to be a flop.
Okay.
Remember, this was actually based off a Japanese anime, too.
Might have been. I mean, it's based off Japanese anime characters, so.
Yeah, so.
Moving on to number 3.
Sure.
I cannot wait for this because I am a huge fan of some pie. American Pie 5. Granted, we've had more than 5 American Pie movies because they've had like Band Camp and Beta House and stuff like that. But it's the 5th installment of the original cast. Now, American Reunion was stated to be the very last slice of pie, is what they said. American Reunion, best American Pie movie I've ever seen. It was the best one.
Now, do we know if Jason Biggs going to be in it?
Apparently, they're bringing back. They want to bring back the entire cast.
I'll watch if Jason Biggs is back in it.
Tara Reid already said she's up for it.
Yeah,
she's up for everything.
because she's so busy.
I know.
With her career right now.
But American Reunion made $234 million. That's a lot for American Pie movie. I would love to see it. I don't need to see it, but I want to, I guess. But it's one of those movies, again, where they state this is the last one, and all it takes is someone out there to write a script.
The script's already been written.
Yeah.
It was called Hangover.
Oh, jeez.
This is the storyline. It will be an American vacation as Jim and the crew get trouble in Vegas.
Hey, like I said, this is the... I mean, most of the time, the scripts are already being written for this. It's the movies you didn't realize were going to be sequels.
Yeah.
So I will see it, though. I own every American Pie movie ever made. I love them. Moving to number 4.
Next one, I need to see the first one. And if it is as good as I think it is, I can't wait for the second one already.
Tell you. So Assassin's Creed was a good movie. I enjoyed it. It was a box office flop when it came out.
Yep.
Though the problem is, it came out during Christmas. I believe any movie that comes out around that time is going to be a flop. Who goes to the movies around that time? You don't have any money anyways, and you're spending time with family.
Oh, yeah. So that's why you go to the movies.
The movie ended up making worldwide $240 million. So after the DVDs came out, the merchandise, stuff like that. So But when it first came out, that's when the flop happened. So then after Christmas, people started going to see it.
Yeah.
Apparently, the executive producer expects the film to continue with the franchise for like 3 films at least. And Michael Fassbender, who was the assassin, he's played Magneto and all that, says that development for the third is actually begun. So I personally believe we probably are going to get more than we are going to at least get the 3. So they're following the game to a point, right down to the characters and everything else. So I thought it was a very good movie.
There it is.
Anything you'd like to add? Probably not, because you haven't seen it.
No, I have not seen it. But do you own the first one?
No, I don't own it.
You don't own the first one yet? It's something you're gonna buy, you think?
Eventually, maybe when it hits the $5 bid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Moving on to something I have no opinion on because I've barely seen the first 2, but I bet you've seen everything of the first 2. Gremlins 3.
Gremlins. How have you not seen this? How are you my co-host? You've not seen any Gremlins?
I've seen Gremlins 1 and 2, but I don't think I've sat down and watched from
beginning to end.
Yeah, I've seen bits and pieces, so I know how the movies go through. But
I'm pretty sure, though, I'm confident to say that we don't need a Gremlins 3 at this point in time.
Well, let me tell you, Steven Spielberg has said he's slated to work on this movie. So
I'm more happy about that.
And he's attached to the movie. And they stated it's not a reboot of the 84 Gremlins movie, but it's going to be a true follow-up to Gremlins 1 and 2. So it is a third part in it. It's not a reboot.
Which is good. But, I mean, like, are we going to get a brand new Gizmo, or is Gizmo old and Gizmo's kids? What's going on?
I can't tell you.
That's the only reason why anybody ever watched Gremlins.
This is 30 years later.
Gizmo was amazing.
Gizmo was a little Ewok.
So, yeah. I don't know.
Your thoughts? Would you and the missus probably go out and see this movie?
No. Amber hates horror movies. Especially...
How is Gremlins a horror movie? This is like saying Chucky. I think Chucky is hilarious.
Times are different in the 80s, Andy.
No, Michael Myers freaks me out.
I mean, Gremlins qualified under comedy horror back in the day. So...
This is true. I mean, if your kids watch Gremlins today, they'd be having nightmares when they turn into the evil Gremlins.
Yeah.
So...
Absolutely.
How many kids do you think are going to be seeing Gremlins 3?
I have no idea.
Yeah. Number 6, I also have no opinion because I've never seen the first one, but you have. It's called Goon: The Last Enforcers.
This is going to be great.
A sequel to Sean William Scott's The Goon.
If it's any good as the first one, I can't wait to see the second one.
Yeah.
Goons was a great movie. And I don't really do a lot of comedies, but...
Well, Sean William Scott is hilarious.
He is a funny dude.
And I told you about this, and you got really excited. Jay Birchall is joining the cast.
Yeah. Jay Birchall. That guy is a good actor. He really is.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought that he quit live acting and done directly to
voice
acting because he's Hiccup.
Yeah.
You know, he played Hiccup for a very long time now, and you have a How to Train Your Dragon 3 coming out soon, too.
Mm-hmm.
So, also, it says here Jay Birchall isn't just starring in the movie, but he directed it and wrote it.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Number 7, this is the one we talked about in the beginning that has been in the news, out of the news, in the news, out of the news. Well, apparently it's finally official, and hopefully we're getting it pretty damn soon. Zombieland 2.
About time.
Woody Harrelson will be in this.
It's been like 10 years, hasn't it?
Because, something like that. The writer of Zombieland is also writing Zombieland 2, and he sat down with Woody Harrelson to help out with it and say, this is where we want to go with it, It said, apparently, from what I got, in 2016, the writer of Zombieland, he finally got the money backing, to write Zombieland 2. So that's what was holding it back a lot, was he really wasn't getting the backing for it. I'm glad Woody Harrelson's in it also, but I'd love for the whole cast to be in it.
So all you know right now for the cast is just Woody?
Yep.
And Jesse Eisenberg hasn't signed on yet?
No.
But he needs to.
That's what I mean. I want the whole cast to be. If it isn't, it's going to be a flop.
Those two need to team up again.
We got to move on quickly, though, because we're running out of time.
Of course we are.
Number 8 is Saw Legacy. I have no affiliation with this movie. I hate the Saw movies.
Move on.
The last Saw was supposed to be the final one. Obviously, it's not. Comes out to end of October, so around Halloween time. Number 9 is a Predator sequel. They stated it's not going to be a Predator reboot, but is it a sequel to the 80s version Predators?
We're going to find out right now. The first one's called Predator. This one's called The Predator.
Yeah, so I'm guessing it's a sequel to Lawrence Fishburne and what was the other guy? I can't remember his name.
A sequel to the 1987 sci-fi Predator movie.
Okay, so the Lawrence...
So it's going to be a sequel to the Danny Glover sci-fi
Okay, so
Predator.
It's not the one where they go to the Predator planet and all
No,
that.
this is going to be a sequel to the Danny Glover when Predator invaded Los Angeles.
All right, and I've got a release date of March next year. Finally, the big one is...
Well, with Predator, I mean, it actually might be pretty good. Shane Black is directing it. Mm-hmm. That guy's a good director.
Yeah, I think he's directed the other
So
Predators
it actually could be pretty decent. Mm-hmm. Shane Black is a talented guy.
Yeah, I didn't write his name down because I wasn't sure if you knew who he was.
Olivia Munn's going to be in this movie. Olivia Munn is going to be in this movie.
We'll see.
So yeah, I mean, so far, I mean, it could be a pretty good movie.
Yeah. The big one for me, and I cannot wait. A lot of people can't because the way Disney's been on a roll.
Yes.
Is Mary Poppins Returns. Emily Blunt is starring as Mary Poppins, and Dick Van Dyke is also returning to this movie. Also, don't know if he's doing his role. Who knows?
I gotta get the cast up for this because
the plot of the movie is it's set 20 years later in the future from the last Mary Poppins.
Yep.
And now the kids she took care of are adults and have their own kids, and she returns to help out with their kids. So, a lot of people are excited for this. I hope it's not a flop, but Disney has been very, very good with their reanimations of their older movies lately.
See here, Emily Blunt, Meryl Streep.
Yep.
Colin Firth is gonna be in this too. That's cool. Angela Lansbury back in it. Nice. Dick Van Dyke. Yep. Yeah, man. I mean, the cast looks pretty sweet.
Yeah. I mean, look at the cast of The Jungle Book. It was a huge cast too. Disney has the money; they can go ahead and put out huge casts. And you look like you have
Okay, never mind.
a light bulb just went off.
Well, I saw Jim Norton as a cast in this,
Okay.
and he's a really foul comedian, but it's not that Jim Norton.
Okay. Well, that was the last one. I know we're running out of time. I forgot to mention this at the beginning of the show. The show is actually, you wanted to mention, dedicated to somebody. Do you remember who that was?
Joanne Lee.
Yes. So,
Yeah.
Stanley, this is dedicated to your wife. We hope you enjoyed the episode because we know you're watching out there.
And you.
Yeah. So,
And you have him.
unfortunately, it's the end of the show. We didn't get to talk a little bit more about Spidey, but we will on the next show.
I am going to highlight the Spider-Man Homecoming stuff so we can talk all about
Okay.
this. I have a lot of cool things I want to bring up.
Yeah. Quickly about the next episode, you want to mention we might have a special
we
guest.
actually have a great special guest coming up. We have a local independent filmmaker from Burlington come up to talk to us about his new film. I believe it comes out in August, I believe.
Okay.
But
So
we don't know about
that
that
is
next
what's
show.
slated for the next show. But unfortunately, it's the end of this show. Thank you for watching. Remember, watch this episode and every other episode on our Facebook and YouTube page at Legends of the Nerds. Follow us on the Twitter at KrillinMan. And like he said, we got a special guest, hopefully. Cross our fingers. We
try this again.
haven't had good luck with guests. But join us next time on another episode of Legend of the Nerds. And remember, stay nerdy.